Hello, this is Dr. Brenda Roach, and you can call me Brenda. And I'm here tonight to talk about a mindset topic, which is a continuation of what I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, which are overcoming the traps of self-doubt. So we all have self-doubt, and like I've talked about in the last couple of weeks, is our brain is trained to protect us from feeling uncomfortable, and our brain is trained to protect us from fear. And so we have a lot of different traps that get in our way and can cause us self-doubt. So if you are joining me, please let me know you're here. I'd love to hear from you and know where you're from. Hey, Don, glad you joined me. If you catch this on a replay, please put replay so I can do a shout out to you. Let me know where you're from. And as I'm going through this, if you're finding it helpful, please let me know that you're finding it helpful. Give me some comments, give me some loves, share it if you know some people that can also benefit from it. So again, we're going to be talking tonight about the number 2 trap to self-doubt, and that is hiding. So last week we talked about the first one, which was hesitation. So if you didn't catch that, you can find that on my business page on Facebook. And so just to recap the 5 traps of self-doubt, the first one is hesitation. Tonight is hiding, and we're going to be talking about hiding. And hiding is really based on fear. So it really comes from that fear, maybe, of not doing what we need to do because of fear, not talking to people that we know we need to talk to. So it's hiding away from things. Hey, Tasha, I'm glad you're here. And so again, talking about what it is, hiding is the second trap of self-doubt. The third one is being hypercritical of yourself, and we're going to talk about that next Tuesday. And the fourth one is helplessness. We'll talk about that in 2 weeks. And then the last one that we'll talk about in 3 weeks is anxiety. But tonight we're really going to be focusing on the hiding, which is the second trap of self-doubt. So again, please let me know as I'm going along if this is making sense or not to you. Because again, when we think about how, hey, Tasha, is that, with our self-doubt, we're all going to have self-doubt at times. It's going to creep in on us. And, we can talk about what to do about that and how to gain skills. Hey, Beth, glad you're watching. And so we can talk about skills, but unless we have it up here and we can really start to overcome some of our fears and the traps of self-doubt, we're not going to be able to really move forward, and we're going to get stuck in it. Because again, I'm going to repeat this over and over and over again because it's so critical for people to understand this. One thing our brain is trained to do, and our brain is built to do, is to protect us from fear and to protect us from feeling uncomfortable. So it's an automatic thing that our brain is going to do. And the more we can recognize that is what it's supposed to do, the more we can step outside of that and realize that that's just what my brain is doing. But we can retrain our brain, but we first have to acknowledge it and understand it. And then we can step outside of that and really, figure out what we need to do about that. So our brain is retrainable, which is a very, very good thing. And so again, when we look at this part of the trap, the second trap, which is really that hiding kind of a piece, it really is looking at what do we do about that then? How do we get outside of hiding from, maybe we're hiding because people think we're not good enough, or we're afraid of what people might think about us. We're hiding. Maybe we know we need to do a Facebook Live, but we've never done one and we don't know how to do that, or we think we might look stupid, or we start comparing ourselves to other people. So we just start hiding and not doing what we need to do, which is really then kind of goes back to when we do that, every time we allow our brain to protect us and we hide from it, it actually empowers our brain to do that the next time. So it actually makes that stronger. And so if we can learn how to overcome that and step outside of our fear that makes us hide, that is actually retraining it. So it gets easier and easier to recognize it when it's happening, and it makes it easier to actually go down a different path and actually take action instead of hiding because we're fearful, because that's what our brain's going to do. It's just going to do it. So we have to accept that and really move on. Glad this is making sense. So what do we do? How do we overcome this? And I'm sorry I'm looking down, but I don't want to forget any of the big points that I want to make as well. So we want to close that gap between what our brain's automatically going to do, which is going to protect us and tell us to hide, versus what we know we need to do to take action to achieve the goals that we want to achieve. Because success is really outside our comfort zone. It's outside of our fear. And so we just need to really look at how do we move forward. So some of it's similar to what I talked about last week when I talked about hesitation, is the first thing we need to do is we need to acknowledge what it is we're hiding from and why we're hiding. So what is it that you're hiding from? What is the fear based on? Is it the fear that we're not good enough, that we're not worthy, that we're going to look silly, that maybe we haven't had success, so who's going to listen to me about it? So we really need to look at what's the fear, what's behind it, and then we need to acknowledge that that's what it is. Because if we don't acknowledge it, we're never going to change it. So again, acknowledge looking at what it is we're hiding from, what's holding you back, and then have a really great level of awareness that that is what it is. Our brain is going to hold us back unless we tell our brain differently, which we can do because we all have, a way of thought, and we can retrain our brain around that. Because if you're not aware of something that's happening, how in the hell are you going to change it? You're not going to be able to change it. So we need to first become really aware of what I'm doing and what I need to do. We need to close that gap in regards to where we're at. So the first thing, again, is acknowledging it, recognizing it, figuring out what exactly it is that you're hiding from. And then the second step is to make a decision that the world needs you. Just do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like we talked about last time. Just step into your own. Recognize your greatness. Every single one of you have some amazing, skills and abilities that when you hold back, the world doesn't get to experience. And so think about, what are your awesome qualities? What do you do well at? Are you kind? Are you generous? Are you loving? Do you have an amazing ability to interact with people or help people? Or, do you have a base of knowledge that you can share with people to help them in their lives? So what is it? What is your base of, expertise? Because we all have that. We just need to recognize that and make a decision to use it. What is really good about you? And why are we hiding to control that? So we have to step outside of our comfort zone again, retrain our brain, because our brain is going to tell us that makes us feel uncomfortable and we become very fearful. So we just really need to recognize what those goals are. So again, the first thing is to acknowledge what we're hiding from and then start doing something about it. So if we believe we don't have knowledge, then start getting the knowledge you need. If you feel like you don't have the skills, gain some more skills. Whatever it is you're hiding from, then start doing something about that in small steps. But then just recognize what you do already have, because all of you have some amazing qualities that you can move forward with. So that's the step number 2. And then the third one is really figuring out, what do you stand for? What are you trying to achieve? What is it that you are trying to accomplish? And what are your qualities that you need to step into to use that? So again, it's retraining your brain to step outside of the fear, looking at what it is you're hiding from, do something about it, recognize all the great things that you have, and then put those into action, because if you really know what your goals are, what you're worth, and what you're trying to accomplish, then you just need to step forward. Fear is always going to be there. Fear is always there, no matter how comfortable we are, no matter how great we are and what we do. Fear is going to be part of what we all experience. That is just a natural emotion that we have. And again, our brain is trained to really try and stop us from moving outside of our comfort zone. But we can retrain it. So if you want to help people, so say you're in the health and wellness business, what are we going to do about that? If we don't start talking to people about it, if we don't help them look at what they're wanting and really listen to what their needs are, then how are we going to help them? And if that's what you stand for and you want to help people in whatever way it is that you're wanting to help them, if you allow fear to get in your way and stop you from doing it, you're not going to achieve it. So again, if we find ourselves hiding, we recognize, we acknowledge first, what are we hiding from? Then we need to really look at when we know that, we need to look at what are our qualities and figure out and make a commitment to just stepping outside that and doing it. And the third is, what do we really stand for? And really look at that. We all own it. We have to own our greatness, because all of you have some things that you have to offer. And it would be a real shame if the world goes without seeing what you have to offer. And it is, the first thing is, again, to recognize over and over and over again, I'm going to talk about this, that our brain is there to protect us from fear. Our brain is there to protect us from uncomfortableness. But we can overcome it by thinking about and recognizing what we need to do. So acknowledge it, figure out what you're hiding from. If you need some help with this, let me know, message me. I'd be glad to, talk with you some one-on-one to help you really figure that out. Because if you don't get beyond that step, you're not going to achieve the goals. You're not going to have the success that you desire and that you deserve. And so it's just figuring that out initially and really then putting in the steps to kind of move yourself forward. So again, if you found this beneficial and helpful, give me some thumbs up, let me know. Share it with some people that you think can benefit from it as well. And then this Thursday evening at 9 p.m. Mountain Time, I'll be back talking about some health things, Beth, talking about a health and wellness topic. And then Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, I'll be talking about some more things around branding yourself and some other things around building your business online. And next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Mountain Time, I'll be back talking about the third trap of self-doubt and talking about some ways to overcome that as well. So I hope you found this helpful. Thank you for joining in on my live this evening. Have a great evening, afternoon, or morning on wherever you're tuning in from. And just go out there and remember, you have some great qualities, and don't let the world get in your way. And don't you stop from providing that, because people are out there that need that and are looking for that, and you have a lot to offer. So don't let that fear get in your way. Retrain your brain. Thank you so much, and talk to you next time.